Every year, I have students enter my classroom who claim to hate reading. They say it's a waste of their time because they never remember what they read, or understand what they read for that matter. At first, I was a little surprised. But after my 7 years in the classroom, I understand why they don't enjoy or remember what they read. Most students aren't really thinking about what they're reading while they're reading it. They're not actively reading or engaging in any strategies that would help them understand difficult text or text they're not particularly interested in. Um, they haven't really been asked to slow down and process a text. And with our goal of preparing a student for career in college, we really need to focus on preparing students to read difficult texts and different kinds of texts. So what I'd like to suggest as one of the strategies is annotation. And it's not a new strategy, but a lot of my ninth grade students allege, they've never been taught how to annotate. In college, annotations are probably one of the only reasons students are successful in understanding difficult text that's extremely complex and highly technical or specialized. So in order to be effective, students need concrete strategies to ensure that annotations don't add to their workload and make the reading even more difficult. Giving students tips on how to highlight and annotate can make a huge difference in the success of this practice. One of the effective tips or strategies that I've introduced to my reading classes is called SAMMG Notations. SAMMG. I've used them with my ninth grade classes, and what I do is I introduce this strategy using a Kelly Gallagher article of the week. The article that I've used concerns President Obama's proposal for a longer school year to introduce this annotation strategy or technique. Students may not be familiar with Obama's ideas to improve the level of education of our population and our youngsters in this country, but they certainly have an opinion about how long a school week should be, how long a school day should be. So I find this article a good intro. And with that, I'd like to show you the article of the week strategies using the SAMMG notations. As you read an article, and I have the steps prominently posted all over the room so that if they forget what they need to do at a given time, they can always look up, and there are the steps. As you read the article, state your opinion, ask a question, make a connection, make a statement, give a conclusion. SAMMG. Now I'll provide you with some examples of how to do this with a focus on this particular article. State your opinion. For example, after I read the article about school on Saturdays, I thought, how crazy is Obama to think that anybody would want to go to school on Saturday? I thought, there's no way they're going to get me in school on a Saturday. Ask a question. Sometimes students can practice these strategies, or at least think about what they're going to do as they encounter the text. Isn't there some way to keep up with other countries' educational systems than go to school on Saturdays or have longer school days? Or what can I do to stop this plan? Make a connection. This is a pretty valuable step, and hopefully students will be able to find some way to make some connection, because it will indicate that there is some prior knowledge, some synthesis of information based on the text. I remember hearing about this last year. My teachers were not happy either. There's their connection. Make a statement. The statement essentially is a summary of what the article was about, perhaps the main idea. Sometimes this may require reading the article again. It may even require turning next to the person sitting next to you and discussing what you both may think the main idea of the article is about. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's what the statement is, but in this case, this article is about making the school days longer or having school on the weekends in order to compete with other countries in a race for a better education. And finally, the G, give a conclusion. Here's an example. There has to be a better way to compete. I believe that if we as students make an effort to be more productive during the current school day schedule, we can make up for having to add extra time to our school day or week. And I find that this give a conclusion is really an excellent way to introduce making a thesis statement. It's kind of a springboard. Students can then take the information that they've gathered about the text, their SAMMG notations, stating an opinion, asking a question, making a connection, making a statement, and giving a conclusion, and they can write about the text that they've read, which is a wonderful step in breaking down complex texts. Thank you.